I was just seriously like, why is he holding that up? What's going on here? I was like, oh
Oh,
my gosh, that's right. See what happens when you clean out your studio and then you're like, oh yeah, that's right. I needed something in the studio. So
I don't have
I
any
failed
radiant
this one.
around.
I failed on this one, man. I wasn't ready. Wasn't ready. Oh man. Welcome everybody to Zia Comic Weekly. We get ready to nerd out. Ladies and gentlemen, he is stateside Troy, everybody.
This is my office here. I am back.
Okay, I need proof though, because you could green screen it and just kind of fool everybody.
I don't know how to prove that.
He might be AI, everybody. We don't know. These
Well,
days,
that is Las Cruces out the window. I don't know if that helps.
oh, hey, there you go. That's all the proof you need. Because if it was a green screen, it would have been choppy and we wouldn't have been able to tell. So, so you're back, man. What's going on?
Right back into the storm. Everything's going on now in about another week.
I know you get vacation and then you come back and you look forward to all great things that are happening. Man, so let's start off with first what you got going on in El Paso, because that's just right around the corner.
Yeah, June 10th through 11th. Everything's pretty much in place for that one. I hope. No cancellations. Thank goodness. Everybody's still coming as far as we know. The VIP tickets, they sold out. I've been warning you guys. It wasn't a sales tactic. The VIP tickets normally do sell out. There's a lot of cool swag that comes with them, especially this year with Gallery Panda being our sponsor, one of our sponsors. The acrylic artwork, that some of it is framed and backlit and everything. This is really cool looking artwork. All of our VIPs is going to get a piece of that as part of their VIP, along with all the swag that we give them.
That's worth it. Just the price of the VIP to walk away with that artwork.
Well, that's a $50 value, just that artwork. And we're only charging $80 for the VIP for anime. So that's over half of it right there.
Right. So you've already, I mean, you've made out already. So yeah, that's awesome. So basically what you're saying is anytime that we talk about any event, whenever there's need to buy them ahead of time, you better get them, because you're probably not going to get them if you think you're going to get them the day of.
Yeah, we try to make the VIP stuff worth it. I mean, we try to throw as much cool stuff in there. We don't want to sell you a VIP and all you get is the title VIP. We want to give you some cool stuff to take home to remember it by. So
yeah. Oh man.
if I tell you it's going to sell out, you might want to listen, man. I'm not just trying to sell. It's going to sell out.
He's telling you the truth. So let this be a word to the wise for any future Comic Cons and anything else going on. You got other events, not just the Cruises Comic Con, but you got other things that you're planning ahead.
Yeah, I mean, after this one, I've got guests signed up for the other ones too, but I don't want to promote those guests until this event's over.
Yeah,
because then people get all mixed up. And they go, well, didn't you say this guy was going to be there? No, he was going to be at this one.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it never fails, because if you say that, they tell you, right? You're like, oh no, but you said
he was going to be here. No, I did not. But yeah, it's just easier to not get people confused. But yeah, Cruise is coming up August here in the beautiful city of Las Cruces de los Jardines de whatever the long full name is.
And I didn't even know there was a full name.
Oh, there is. I fell down that rabbit hole one night. It's some name like this long. It's Las Cruces de los Jardines de something something.
Oh man. Thank you, Troy. Now I know what I'll be searching for later today.
Now that's in your head. You can have that for free. You're welcome.
But I'm gonna just say, man, by the way, you really do like influence and mind trick people, because like when we're talking about things, like you're the reason I started watching Ted Lasso.
It's good.
I haven't seen the finale yet, so I'm like, I just got to season 3. So
I think I finished season 2. I haven't started 3 yet.
Okay, good. I know the finale was last night, and I was just like, okay, don't want to like watch it. I didn't want to skip ahead.
They don't know if there's going to be a season 4, so it might be the finale.
I will have to wait and see. But yeah, I just finished season 2 last night. Didn't go to bed until about almost 1 a.m., but it was well worth it.
It's addictive. You get into the guy's life.
And it's just I gotta say, man, I think I may keep Apple TV over Max.
Did you look at any of the other stuff on there?
We actually there's a Seth Rogen show that's coming out that I wanna see. I just saw the preview to it yesterday. I think it's called Platonic, and it's
Haven't seen that one.
him and the girl that they were in a movie together called Neighbors. Also the action movie with Chris Evans I wanna see. You
You
mentioned
haven't
that
seen
that was
Yeah, Ghost, right?
yes, I still need to see that one, but there's a lot of stuff on there, man.
I'm telling you, check out Severance. That series will really screw your mind up. Severance,
Because
and then
that's what I need.
Silo is good. I mean, they're leaning heavy into sci-fi stuff on Apple TV.
Yeah, the wife was telling me that she really wants to after we finish Ted Lasso, is Silo is the next one that she wants to
Mhm.
watch. So, I told her
Good
that might
choice.
be the move. Yeah, so and, and I don't know, man, I'm not too impressed with Max. So,
Other
I
than
mean,
last week tonight, that's really about the only thing I watch off of Max anymore.
I've seen every diners, drive-ins, and dives because now they have the Food Network, stuff on Max. I kinda don't need it until 2025 when The Last of Us comes back or if Peacemaker comes back.
Yeah, yeah, that and with Disney Plus, they're kind of in a lull right now, and they're stopping doing as many series as they used to. Di- Disney might be on the chopping block for me too.
I don't know, man. There's quite a bit when you start looking at it, and Apple TV just kinda came out of nowhere, man, and it really is just like you said, the sci-fi I'm excited to really check out because, man, they just either they know how to put together a trailer or a preview of their shows, but it
Yeah,
engages you right out the gate. You're like, "I think I need to add that to my list." So, yeah, man, there's quite a few on Apple TV that either I find someone else's 3 more months, or I just, break down and get the service.
and they did it so low key. They're not putting a lot of money into. I haven't seen really any advertising. Every once in a while, I'll see a Ted Lasso commercial, but I haven't seen commercials for much of the other stuff anywhere.
Compare it to Max. I mean, that's all
Yeah,
I've seen on regular TV, that's all I've seen is previews to Max, 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 and I'm just not feeling it, man, and, unless DC has something planned with it, I don't know how much more I can keep coughing up that I think it's like $16 now because they did go up in price.
it's they're all going up in price, and then well, I was because usually when we travel, I'll download a whole bunch of episodes and stuff so I can watch it. Because typically there's the in-air entertainment's not that great. So I watched all that and I got over to Spain and I was like, well, let me download some new episodes I can watch while we're on train rides, to all these excursions we're going to. It downloaded in Spanish. There was no option for English anywhere. Because if you're in
So
Spain, it just defaults. You're listening in Spanish. That's all you're going to get. Licensing.
oh, okay, so, yeah, well, I mean, if you know Spanish, I mean, I guess it's not a bad thing, but, if you don't speak it, then it's
I don't. And I did notice they're so overly dramatic because a lot of the stuff is stuff I'd already watched before, and I was just going to watch it again. So I remember how it was in English, and in the Spanish version, it was just like on The Simpsons with Bumblebee Man. Everything was just over the top. Oh Dios
"Oh,
mío!
Dios mío, ¿por qué?"
And that's not a stereotype. That's exactly how it was.
Oh my god, "Auxilio!" They're yelling
Oh,
for help. It's true, though. By the way, there are a lot of voice actors that translate a lot of these stuff into Spanish. I gotta say, the guy who does the voiceover for Goku, it is so difficult because that guy has, like, permanent work because if he ever does voice work for anything else, I can't help but think Goku every time now. He could be doing a different movie, and I'm like, "Why is Goku now in Transformers? Wait, why is Goku now sound like Adam Sandler?" That guy is making a killing right now, but, I mean, it's the same voice.
yeah, we've toyed with bringing in some Spanish voiceover people from anime. There's a couple of them. They're doing the concert, and I was like, if it's going to work anywhere, El Paso would be the spot. And it might
Yeah.
actually work. Maybe we'll pull some of those Juarez people over.
Oh,
So
man,
you might see that in the future.
it could happen. I mean, man, but I tell you, some of those voices, and then because it seems like the market, especially in Spanish, is so limited, you have like, I mean, I don't know, a lot of the shows I've seen, there's like 5 voices. And I'm like, okay, that's the same voices in the movies and the cartoons and the different, cartoons that I'm seeing. I'm like, okay, like seriously, how did Papa Smurf go from him to Vegeta? What's happening here? Like Vegeta's too angry. Like it makes no sense. But they're recognizable voices, man.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And it's different too. I've talked to enough of the voice actors to know their process. It's not a word for word translation either because they're trying. They call it the mouth flaps. They're trying to match the mouth flaps so it doesn't like black belt special where the words don't match how their mouth is moving. So
I
some of
love
that stuff they're just changing on the fly to make it work.
and it works so well, man. You wouldn't think it,
Yeah.
but man, I honestly, for the longest time growing up, thought Dragon Ball was a Spanish only cartoon until one day I found out it's in English, and I'm like, wait, this is not even from English or Spanish. This is a Japanese cartoon. What's
It's
going on?
originally Japanese.
I
So
did not know that, man. I thought this was a Spanish cart. There's quite a few of shows I remember growing up watching, thinking they originated from Mexico, and no, it was all Japanese.
is there any like Mexican anime based? I know most of it's Japan, and they're getting a little bit in Korea now. Is there
I
any? I
don't
wonder if there's any animes based out of Mexico.
I don't think so. I think a lot of them are coming overseas and they just I mean, I can't even to tell you the truth, I couldn't even know the names in English because I was just so used to seeing them in Spanish. So now when you see them, like, okay, this didn't originate. Because then later when you start, thanks to the wonderful world of TikTok, you find out that, oh yeah, by the way, this originated in Japan. And you're just it's
Maybe
mind blowing, man.
maybe that's a market we need to tap into. We'll start making Mexican anime.
I mean, you can get me and Jackie to do the voiceovers. I mean, I'm sure we'll be good.
Yeah, I mean, sorry
It,
about
it's
that.
No, it's crazy though, because I tell you, a lot of growing up, a lot of the shows that I was watching really thought they originated from Mexico, not realizing that they were, and they were older too. And that's what's amazing even more, because like in the 90s, you're like, oh my God, this is so brand new. It's already ran in Japan and it's probably already in syndication.
Well, I mean, anime is huge everywhere. Just even over in Spain, every store we went to had some kind of anime products in it. Even the grocery stores, there was anime products in there. So it's
Yeah.
it's crazy.
By the way, we got a big anime fan in here, Gino. Gino always is letting us know, and I'm like, man, how I would have never thought Gino.
Country Station Gino,
Country Station Gino, big anime. He loves it. So
he's a
him and
weeb.
Martine, him and Martine can talk, and I'm just kind of like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I was like, I have not kept up in a while, but it sounds like y'all are having a blast. So Gino, I'll talk to about wrestling, but then he starts talking to Martine about that, and I'm like, you guys have lost me.
I'm checking out.
I can't do this, guys. I need a starting point. Please give me a starting point, and we'll go from there. But
So, what about
um,
that Dragon Ball?
so hey, can we talk about Dragon Ball from 1994? Like, I need to know what happened. I don't know how many times, and I don't even know how many times they can keep reinventing that. They just, I
Was
mean,
it
used
Dragon
it.
Ball or Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super or Dragon Ball
Dragon Ball
GT?
GT, and then Dragon Ball Super Z, and then plus the movies, and then I don't even know how many times Majin Buu has died. Then there's the Cell Games 2. Man, and I tell you, then you know what though has made it interesting for me when it comes to a lot of these old, just from shows from back in the day. Watching them in English for the first time is like watching them again, and I'm like, oh hey, now I don't have to like translate it. So
Wow.
parents, let this work out. I'm gonna just let parents know if you want your kids to learn another language, have them watch anime because
They'll figure it
that's
out.
that's how I ended up learning Spanish. To be honest, thanks to Dragon Ball, I learned Spanish. Thank you,
Senor
Goku.
Goku.
Thank you. I know I'm over here calling everybody Senor Goku. Muchas gracias, Senor Goku. I think is he calling me a baby? He's gonna Google Gaga? What's going on? No, it's Goku. Oh man, I mean, man, this anime is just it's blowing up. It's gonna get even bigger, and I'm excited, man. Let's. It's just around the corner in 2 weeks already, right? We're already gonna see this.
A little, yeah, a little less. The 10th and
Uh,
11th. So
next week. Yeah, next
10
week.
days. Yeah, I know.
And you went on vacation.
Yeah, it wasn't my idea. I would have picked a better time, but
Hey,
I don't make our travel plans.
that's what I've learned too. You just get in the car and go.
Yeah, if I don't wanna go to divorce court, I go on vacation.
Thank you. Everybody watching this, that you just learned a very valuable lesson. Happy wife, happy
Yeah.
life.
Choose your battles wisely.
Oh, man. So, of course, a lot is headed our way, as far as what we can look forward to. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. It's definitely starting to
Yeah.
pick up some momentum. A lot of people are wondering, what are gonna be the big surprises. We're seeing more and more of these different versions of Spider-Man in the latest trailers. There's a cat Spider-Man now. So,
Yeah, there's so many. I think Spider-Man India is gonna be in there. I mean, there's just so many versions of Spider-Man. It's crazy. I think they said 200 and some they're
yeah.
gonna show in the movie.
Like 270. If you guys can count all that while watching this movie, good for you, because that's way too many. No, man, I'm excited for this one, and of course, we get more of the Miles Morales story. I'm wondering to what extent they go as far as, are we gonna see future Spider-Man series? Are we gonna see, this would be the perfect launching point. If Disney was smart, this is where they put their TV shows into something like this.
Yeah, I mean, I can get behind a Miles Morales TV series. I
I
wouldn't mind
mean,
seeing him in his own live action movie.
and I'm hoping for that with if they make another Spider-Man, a live action Spider-Man to get a Miles Morales. I really thought Donald Glover was going to be Miles Morales, but that kind of they got
I think
away
he's
from
too old
that.
now. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a little too old. I mean, they should have waited 10 years ago. He would have been fine,
he's
but
gonna be his
yeah.
uncle, the Prowler.
It still works though, man. I mean, you still
Yeah,
keep him in the MCU.
you can never have too much Donald Glover.
I mean, I would be perfect with that. That would be totally fine by me.
Can I see either him
Spider-Man.
or Childish Gambino? One of those two guys.
Yeah, I think Childish Gambino's a little less expensive than Donald Glover, so yeah, we'll go with I think Donald Glover has won awards, so now he would cost more. Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse is set to come out next month. It looks like it will be pretty good at the box office depending on how The Little Mermaid, does moving into week 2. It was the number 1 movie, the live action Little Mermaid, which definitely had its set of controversy. A lot of people were back and forth about it. Why do we need to continue to make these live action versions of classics?
Some of them are not bad. The couple that John Favreau did, I enjoyed. I like Jungle Book and God, what was the other? He did another one, but
Lion King.
that's Lion King. Didn't mind but yeah, I mean, why remake a story that's already out there?
You know, the wife, she went and saw it, because she remembers from, when she was a kid watching it on as a cartoon, and she says, "Nothing's wrong with it if you're going in there, it's the same story that it's just definitely a different take." But it's great. I mean, it's a Disney movie. I mean, it's not I mean, critics will be harsh, and here, we know critics, they hate everything. Everything that's fun and good, critics hate it.
Is it did they use the same musical numbers or they make new music for it?
She said there was, for the most part, some of the same musical. She said nothing really changed. She says there were some scenes though that were in the cartoon that weren't in the movie. I guess something about the lobster. I don't know. I haven't seen The Little Mermaid since I was a kid,
Years.
so I don't even remember it. She says, "Yeah, Sebastian, there was a scene." I don't remember. So she says, other than that, it was a good movie.
Well, I think Melissa McCarthy as Ursula is perfect casting. I think she fits that role. So I'm kind of excited to see her playing Ursula.
I mean, you can't. I mean, just to find that's the perfect, like, if you ever, like, had a dream cast, like, as far as who should it be, she should be Ursula, and I think they found it perfectly, so
Yeah, they nailed it. I'd like to see her get the Maleficent treatment. Let's see the story from her point of view because Triton dorked her over. She was supposed to be next in line.
that's right. That would actually be really good.
Yeah, that's free,
So,
Disney. You can have that one for
Disney,
free.
I know while you're on a writer strike, just remember we were talking about this, so when you guys come back, this idea was created by Troy, so don't be trying to
Yeah,
steal it.
send the SAG card to me. I'll be okay
Yeah,
with that.
yeah, we'll be fine with that. So, yeah, we'll see how they do. Didn't really hear much about, the other projects. Fast X, I think, is already stalled out, at the box office, and Guardians of the Galaxy is still doing good. which, still need to go check that one out.
But was that a car joke?
That
Stalled out.
was see what I did there?
I saw
Called
what you
out.
did there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I have rested between 1 AM and now. Uh,
Yeah, I kind of figured Fast X didn't have the gas for the long
ah,
haul. Ah,
oh my gosh. Well, all this within preparation of The Flash, which, I was seeing something this morning, Troy. They seem to think that they may bring Ezra Miller back for a sequel if it does well.
People in general are very short-minded. They'll forget, that, oh yeah, he's a bad person,
Yeah.
but he plays a good Flash, so let's bring him back.
And it's weird though, because it's like, here we are, that was, I mean, to be honest, I think that was one of the reasons why this movie really got pushed back was because
Mm.
they figured with time, it'll delay and okay, people will forget, then we can release this movie. But I think ultimately what's gonna save this it's not gonna be Ezra Miller. I think it's gonna be these cameos that are gonna come up that we're not even talking about. I mean, I know a lot of us have our like, "Oh my god, Christian Bale's gonna show up," or, they're gonna have a reference to Val Kilmer's. I think there'll be some cameos that is gonna really surprise all of us, and that's what's gonna make the movie, not Ezra Miller. So, we'll have to wait and see what happens as far as, moving forward with, The Flash. I don't know, but I'm excited to see this movie. We'll see what comes out of, the upcoming Flash movie that is set to come out here in, just a couple of weeks. I think we have Troy that froze right now. Either that or he's pondering everybody. So, don't forget to drop in the comments. Let us know, if you guys are gonna be checking out The Flash. And, yeah, we just, lost Troy right now. He'll be connecting again right now. So, be on the lookout for The Flash that will be coming out here in just a few weeks. And there he is. We got it back.
Sorry, my internet is not the best.
By the way, Troy, as I was talking about The Flash, you had the most serious face. And I was just like, wow, he's really like thinking about this. And then I realized I was like, wait, he hasn't blinked in 30 seconds. Something's not right.
Yeah,
So
that was my pause face.
I don't know. I don't think it's like, but like I was saying, I don't think it's Ezra Miller that carries this movie. I think it's all the cameos that we're gonna get.
No, I agree because that's a lot of movies rely on cameos. Marvel's been doing it for a while with their after credit stuff. So
Yeah.
DC's kind of using that same thing. It's like, hey, all those guys you like? Well, they're in here for like 10 seconds.
And you got to sit through the entire credits to see them for 5 seconds, and then have a 60-minute discussion on TikTok as to why they came back.
Yeah, I think they shouldn't use Ezra Miller. I mean, I hear Grant Gustin's available. The
There you
Flash
go.
series ended on CW. Why don't we bring him in? He's a good Flash.
I think people would probably resonate with that choice. I think people would be happy because it's like it's almost like a graduation from the CW to now. Can you roll? Can you run with this? Take the ball and run with this. I had another one.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
get.
yeah, and it could work. I mean, I think they really could work, even if they, I would say try to drop another series to try to relate it back to more the movies. But I don't know, man. It'd be as a matter of fact of just saying, "Hey, Ezra, you're out. Let's put a new character in and let's move forward."
That'd go a long way with them having some kind of credibility too with these actors. So, I
Yeah.
and from that would maybe we'd get a Green Arrow movie, maybe we'd get a Supergirl movie.
I mean, there's a possibility, man. I mean, I think with James Gunn stepping into that role, we may get some clarity and we may be able to finally connect everything the way that it needs to be. And we don't have to rely so much on Superman and Batman.
Yeah, that Holy Trinity is starting to get a little old. I mean, there's other characters in DC. Look, Peacemaker killed it. Suicide Squad doing really well. Let's explore some of these more obscure characters and bring them into the limelight.
Especially characters that I don't think the casual fan may know a lot about. Now, Peacemaker, I think I always put Peacemaker up there, along with the Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, these are characters that they weren't getting the Iron Man, Batman, Superman, Thor treatment. Even Thor, some a little bit. I mean, these are these characters that blossomed into. I mean, look at Guardians, one of the hugest, biggest franchises. right now. No one would have ever thought that, five goofs would have turned into an amazing storyline, had people crying at the movie theaters,
Yeah, and how many non-comics readers knew who Thanos was? How many of them
right?
knew who High Evolutionary was until this most recent one?
And I always felt weird when I had to explain. They're like, "Hey, who's the guy at the end that's smiling with the teeth and it's purple?" It's like,
He's
"That's
got
Thanos."
the messed up chin.
I
Looks
was
like
like, "Who's
somebody
the
kicked his
message?"
chin.
I know, right? It's like, boy, has that changed from by the time we got from there to Endgame.
Yeah.
And it's just and even now, Marvel still is gonna continue to do what they're doing. A movie I recently went back and watched, it was on ABC last week, Shang-Chi. They
Holds
were
up
running that
well.
movie. You know, if you go back and watch that movie, it is a great movie, man. Like, it really is. I know a lot of people are like, "Well, it wasn't the Avengers Endgame." No, it had a great storyline and a great setup for future movies.
And I think it's unfair to compare these newer movies to Endgame. That was over a decade of buildup with how many movies, pushing into it.
Yeah.
They're trying to start a new phase. So, I mean, you got to start at rock bottom again and build up to it.
Yeah, and I challenge anybody to say, be like, "Well, it's not like the old ones." Did you real like, let's be honest. I mean, at the time, did y'all I mean, we liked Iron Man. Could you go back and watch Iron Man 1 again?
Or Thor Dark World.
Enough said right there. That right there just solidified our
Yeah.
point. Because there was some movies that weren't that great, like and then if you look at, Shang-Chi, if you get a chance to go see, Ant-Man, Quantumania, which is on Disney now.
Streaming.
These movies are great. Like, if you really take the time, I think a lot of us are just rushing to the theaters to be like, "Oh, well, we didn't see a Thanos or another cameo," and then they're upset.
Yeah, I finally got to see Quantumania. I watched it in Spain. It was
Did you watch
streaming.
it in Spanish?
No, it's one of the ones I downloaded before I went, so I could watch
Okay,
it.
good.
I would have been kind of upset watching, King the Conqueror getting beating people up in Spanish.
Right. What did you think about it?
Uh, I didn't hate it. It was an okay movie. Paul Rudd is kind of hard to go wrong with Paul Rudd, and I think it's going to open the doors to a lot of other stuff, like that end credit scene with Loki
Mhm.
and one of the variants of Kang. Him and Mobius meet up with her at the end. So yeah, I think that they're using it as a stepping stone. I think it got a lot of undue criticism because it was not a bad movie.
Yeah. But it's a movie that is later gonna be looked back, and I think when we look back when we get to the next Avengers, I think we will look back at that movie for a lot of Easter eggs. I think we will have to go back and see like, "Oh, well, remember when this happened, or remember these variants, or remember when they destroyed this." Like, I think that will be that movie that we have to reference. Because keep in mind, guys, like, even Namor, how many times did they reference Namor in movies that people didn't even catch?
Yeah, he was in the map on the background in at Shield headquarters at one point. Um, they love their Easter eggs,
Yeah.
and they, like I said, these movies are really not in Marvel. They're not standalone like they are in DC. They all kind of are going toward a common goal.
Mhm. So we'll see what DC should just do the same thing at this point. James Gunn, you saw the playbook, just do the same thing.
I'm sure he came in and he just threw that book in the trash. He's like, "This is how we're gonna do it, guys. Watch."
It's like, okay, who decided that Ben Affleck should be Batman? Okay, that person is fired immediately. No, no.
But then again, they fired Henry Cavill, who was probably the most perfect Superman ever.
Right, yeah. And then of course they fired The Rock too, but nobody fires The Rock.
The, yeah, but he kind of phoned in Black Adam. That was the most wooden performance I've ever seen from him.
Yeah. So
The most
honest,
charismatic guy out there, and he didn't make anybody like him.
I don't know how he could have like I mean, as good of acting chops as that guy has, he could have brought a little bit more. I don't think he knew what type of character he was playing for Black Adam.
I don't know. I think he tried to play it too stoic, I guess. Because look at Tom Hiddleston. Loki is a reprehensible character. Can't trust him. He's just a horrible, horrible guy. But you liked that guy because Hiddleston pulled it off.
Man, and it's you know what's crazy though, if you think about it with his character, it's gonna be tough for him to get away from the comic book universe because anytime I see him now, I'm just gonna think, man, it's Loki. There's Loki up to no good. But it's just because he's done such a good job of becoming and making that character his own.
Well, wasn't he in Skull Island, that Kong movie?
I to tell you the truth, I can't even remember.
But
And
his
he
hair
made
wasn't dyed black, so he didn't have the same look.
okay, I'm gonna need to go back and look at I'm now starting to wonder what other movies did he do? Because
That's the only other one I know him from. That's why I threw it out there.
I was like, "Hey, man, you're gonna need to make sure you wear the helmet anytime you go do another movie." So we remember, oh yeah, that's Loki. So we know.
Oh, he'll make residuals for the rest of his life.
Oh man, all
If
of
that
them.
doesn't work, he'll just do cons every weekend.
Oh man, it's endless amount of money for these guys.
Yeah, six-figure guarantees. You do, a couple of those a year, you're set. You don't gotta make no more movies.
Hey, if y'all need a background actor for any of these Marvel movies, we'd love to be a part of that. That would be awesome.
Yeah, even the guys who played like, third zombie on the left in Walking Dead, they're getting like 1,500 a week to come out.
Hey, that's the type of job that I need.
What'd you do? They put on makeup and I went,
I was the guy that was running away from Loki because he was blowing up a building. I was like, I was the one with the scared face. The
the overactor.
yes. Oh my gosh. All right, Troy. They want to keep up with you. How can they connect on the socials with you?
We're all over interwebs, man. We got the Meta, the Insta, the YouTube, the Twitter, and TikTok.
That's right. Make sure y'all follow them. You can catch me on Facebook, Hot 103's Big Show, Instagram, Hot 103, Joey on the FM, and then on TikTok. You can catch me there. I couldn't even remember. I was like, wait, what other social medias are there out there? Twitter, I have not used in like 2 years, so I probably should try it. I don't know. I just
Snapchat, MySpace.
yeah, no Snapchat here. So no Snapchat, no OnlyFans, none of that stuff. So if someone is trying to say, "Hey, I have Joey's OnlyFans," it's not real, okay? It's not me. Or is it?
You-
You never keep them guessing.
People like those foot pictures.
Hey, what can I say? And I got the perfect feet,
I got
$4.
beautiful, beautiful feet.
That's a $1 subscription. Guys, this has been Zia Comic Weekly. I know, I'm sorry, that's so close to me. We'll see y'all next week.
Later, nerds.